North Park was created during the Depression. Commissioner Babcock had the foresight to acquire a lot of abandoned and bankrupt farms that were in the area. They paid very little for the land, and yet we have it today to enjoy for generations.
The original reason that public space was important was to give people the opportunity to get out in a more rural kind of setting. This was a time when there was a lot of industrial development, but there hadn't been a lot of suburbanization throughout the county.
I'm from the city, born and raised on the north side. So when I was younger, North Park was like a mysterious forest that we would have chances to go to maybe once or twice a year if we were lucky.
I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and I have a very sensorial memory of coming to North Park, sitting on the edge of the water and fishing.
As an adult, when I became a cyclist, I just remembered that there was this loop around the park, and I remember riding a bike there when I was a kid. So I came out one day on my bike just to learn how to use my first bike, and just loved it.
When I moved to the North Hills, people would say, "Oh, let's walk our dogs. Why don't you meet us at 6:30 in the morning and we'll go for a walk?"
The Lake Trail, it's a gathering point. This is time to talk, to share, whether you're biking, walking, rollerblading, or running.
You can think, you can breathe, you can be in nature, whether you want to row on the lake, whether you want to picnic, and it's free.
We're seeing more bikers, more hikers, more joggers. And in fact, some days the trails are so jam full that they can be a challenge. So it's clearly being used more today, but it's a different type of use today than it was, let's say, 30, 40 years ago.
It had been clear for some time that the county was not going to be able to support through just the county budget alone the maintenance, let alone improvements of the park. So the Allegheny County Parks Foundation was created as a 501c3 nonprofit organization to be able to reach out to those sources who would not be able to be tapped by the county to raise supplemental funds to help the county. The improvement to North Park that we're most involved with right now is completion of the trail around North Park Lake with improvement of the Ingomar Road section. It's been very clear that there's a safety issue because many of the users use a space that's been dedicated along the shoulder of the road. That pedestrian bicycle lane is being widened. The road is being shifted away from the lake so that cars will not encroach as much on that space. There's going to also be an alternative. We're constructing a path that will go from the Babblebrook shelter, and it will follow much more closely the alignment of the lake for a while. And that will be a nice alternative, particularly for walkers. And then there's a third section that is on the drawing boards right now. The Pierce Mill Road section will be widened and the surface improved, and then we're going to do some landscaping to give it more of a kind of parkway sort of environment.
The idea that the trail around the lake is expanding and becoming even a safer place for people to walk and to bike and to walk their dogs, will encourage even more people to come to the park.
Expanding the trail and making it a little more friendly for all those groups to cohabitate is a good thing.
This park has room for both nature and for humans, and it's making sure that both are taken care of.
Although we're unlikely to raise huge amounts of money from the average person who uses the park, it's really significant money because the larger donors like foundations and corporations who are interested in contributing to the improvement of our parks want to see that the public supports them.
We take for granted that this park is always going to be here, always going to be maintained, always going to be cared for. They don't take care of themselves, and so I think that's a duty we all have.
The users of the park need to show that they are engaged and that they feel a sense of ownership and pride and responsibility towards keeping these parks vibrant.